Archaeologists once opened a tomb sealed for over 3,000 years. Inside sat a jar of honey, still perfectly good to eat. That golden syrup had outlived pharaohs and empires. It never rotted, never spoiled, never went bad. That impossible fact is the heart of how honey is made, one of the most interesting facts in your kitchen, because honey is the one food on earth that can last, quite literally, forever. It does not begin as thick and golden at all. It starts as nectar, a thin, watery droplet deep inside a flower. Taste it then, and it is barely sweet at all. Nectar is mostly water. To become honey, almost all of that water must vanish. Fresh nectar can be 4/5 water. Finished honey holds less than a fifth. Nearly all of it has to be driven off. And the amount of work behind one jar is staggering. A single bee visits flower after flower all day long. To fill one small jar, the hive must visit millions of blooms. On each trip out, a forager may kiss dozens of flowers. She flies back and forth from first light until dusk. Those bees fly enormous distances to do it, enough miles to circle the whole planet, for 1 pound of honey. Here is the part that stops me cold. One little worker bee in her entire life makes barely a drop. About 1/12 of a teaspoon. That is her life's whole work, her single gift to the jar. So the honey on your toast is the life's work of dozens of bees. A spoonful is a small graveyard of effort. All of it unfolds inside one crowded city of wax. A single hive can hold tens of thousands of bees. At its center, one queen lays a couple thousand eggs a day. Every bee works a job that shifts with age. The young ones nurse and build inside. The oldest fly out to forage. One secret alone sets the queen apart. As a grub, she is fed only royal jelly, a rich food the workers make. That single diet turns an ordinary larva into a queen. A forager sucks up nectar and stores it in a special honey stomach. Not for digesting, just for carrying. A bee even tastes with her feet. She can judge a flower the instant she lands on it. Back at the hive, she brings it up and passes it, mouth to another bee, and another after that. Each time, they add enzymes from their own bodies. Those enzymes quietly split the sugar into something new. I always get curious about who is out there watching. Someone in Canada, someone in Egypt, someone on a farm in New Zealand. Bees hum on almost every continent. So tell me which country you are in right now. The country, not the town. Now, back into the hive. The watery nectar is still far too wet to keep. So the bees become living fans. They beat their wings over the open cells, driving the water out as warm vapor. Those wings blur hundreds of times every second. That frantic beat is the hum you hear near a hive. Season wingings rule the weather inside. They hold the hive close to the warmth of your own body, cooling it in summer, shivering to heat it in the cold. Slowly the droplet thickens into true honey, rich, golden, and almost dry. Only then do the bees seal it away. They cap each full cell with a fresh lid of wax. Look closely at that comb, and every cell is a perfect hexagon. 6 neat walls, repeated thousands of times. It is the shape that holds the most honey with the least wax. And the wax comes from the bees themselves. Tiny glands on their bellies sweat out pale flakes. They chew them soft, then mold them into walls. That wax cap is their signal. It means this honey is ripe, finished, and safe to store. Here is your choice while the hive works. Do you like your honey thin and runny or thick and set? One word, runny or set. Write it below. Now the beekeeper steps in and reaches for smoke. A few puffs of cool smoke drift over the hive. The bees turn calm and stop sounding the alarm. The smoke hides their alarm signal from each other. So instead of defending, they quietly gorge on honey and grow gentle. The keeper lifts out the heavy frames, dripping and golden. Thousands of sealed cells, packed edge to edge. And no two frames taste the same. Honey takes its color and flavor from the flowers the bees chose. Orange blossoms give one taste, wildflowers another. Some honey is pale as water. Some is nearly black, dark, and bittersweet. The bees never blend it to a recipe. Each jar simply captures whatever happened to bloom near the hive that season. To free the honey, the wax caps must go first. A heated blade shaves the wax lids off every cell. The golden combs are laid open at last. Then the frames are loaded into a spinning drum. It whirls fast and flings the honey out against the walls. The honey runs down and pools at the bottom, pulled from the comb by nothing but speed. That raw honey is strained to catch bits of wax and bee. Then it flows, slow and thick, into waiting jars. Some makers gently warm it first to keep it clear and runny for longer. Leave honey long enough, and it may turn thick and grainy. Many people think it has gone bad. It has not. That is just the sugar-forming crystals, a natural change. A little warmth melts it back to gold. And the bees are never robbed bare. A good keeper takes only the surplus and leaves the hive plenty for winter. Honey is the colony's own fuel. It is the food that carries every bee through the cold, dark months ahead. Now back to that ancient jar in the tomb. Why does honey never rot? Bacteria and mold need water to live, and finished honey is almost bone dry. Honey is also slightly acidic, a place germs hate, and it holds a trace of natural peroxide, a mild antiseptic. Doctors still spread special honey on stubborn wounds today. Ancient healers did the same, long before anyone knew why it worked. And here is a quiet wonder. It is the only food made by an insect that humans eat. There is one final trick. Honey is so hungry for water it pulls moisture straight out of any microbe. They shrivel and die. So a sealed jar of honey can outlast the person who bottled it. It is less a food, more a tiny fortress. Bees have made honey this same way for millions of years, long before the first human ever reached for a spoonful of it. But the strangest wonder is not the honey at all. It is how the bees find the flowers in the first place. When a bee finds a rich patch of blooms, she races home, and then she dances. She waggles her body in a tight figure of 8 on the vertical comb. That dance is a map, read in the dark. The angle of her dance points to the flowers, measured against the sun. The longer she waggles, the farther the journey. Her sisters feel it in the dark, then fly straight out to the exact spot. A living set of directions, danced with a body. The scientist who first cracked this secret language won a Nobel Prize. A dance turned into a treasure map. And every trip does far more than fill a jar. Dusted head to toe in pollen, the bees fertilize the very crops we eat. A huge share of our food leans on their travels. So look again at that jar on your shelf. Inside is a whole summer of flowers gathered drop by drop, dried by beating wings, sealed in wax, mapped by a dance in the dark. Honey is not really something bees make. It is a season of sunlight and blossom, distilled and locked away, built to last 1,000 years. I still cannot get my head around one of these, that the honey in your cupboard could still be good long after you are gone. Which fact surprised you the most?